the fact is that there's a law, and it works when it's in balance, that puts most people in a state of lack. In this moment, you're actually using it. My name is Oscar, and I help people raise their vibration and share their gift with the world. And in this video, we're going to look at how you can shift from being a consumer into a producer and dive deep into the underlying law that puts most people in a state of lack. Now, I'm not really sure if you're aware of this law, but the fact is that in this moment, you're actually using it. And in what way do I mean that? Well, you're right now consuming the information that I am producing to you, right? You are right now in the seat of being a consumer. The same way you are in the seat of being a consumer when you're breathing in. The only difference is that when you're breathing in, you are also, while you breathe in, right? You're breathing out. So you are instantly in balance, right? You're breathing in and you're breathing out, and it's almost like you can't even detect it, right? It's so subtle, but yet there it is. And if you were to breathe in and just breathe in, like after a while, you couldn't even breathe out, right? Now that is exactly what is happening when you are consuming information. And this society, or not the society, the whole world is right now so full of information in so many ways that we are unconsciously consuming. But we're not that much producing, right? Because in order to produce the amount of what you're consuming, you need to, send out as much as you're literally taking in. So all the information that you're getting and you're putting on a pile inside of there, it's time to start giving it out. But most of the time, we're so caught up in this state of just being in the consuming mode. But the importance of understanding this is that the fact is that there's a law, right? And the law is called the law of compensation, and it works when it's in balance. Because the fact is that if you are receiving too much information without giving it out, you're generating people incapable of service, or you're generating an incapability of service inside of yourself. Now, the opposite is true too, right? That's why we light workers, or people who are in the state of wanting to, give other people, right? I'm giving so much. But the thing is this, that if you're giving and you do not receive equals amount in return, then what happens is that you are generating people incapable of appreciation, right? So both of these sides are no good. But the most important one, obviously, is to understand that the more you're consuming information-wise, because it's everywhere, right? The more you are, breathing in too much, and you're coming to that point where you're saturated, right? And then you won't be able to receive the fair amount that you will get if you're giving. So it's really important to understand how receiving and giving, and how it should be a balance. And the thing is this, that we're so drained, or we're so drilled into being consumers, so we do not really know how it is to shift into being a producer. And it's a little bit of a state where we have to go into a point of uncertainty, right? You have to go into unclarity, because you have to give some time for the information that you've consumed your entire life to start coming into what you're going to produce. That means that we need to start trusting the void. And that's one of the key things in order to start becoming a producer. It's not just starting to produce, no, especially not as a light worker. Because you want to produce something that is of value for people. So you just don't want to throw out everything there. But in order to get into that point, you need to start trusting your intuition, which means that you first of all need to become very adept with the void. So when you start giving something to someone, right? Or you're thinking of you have to give something, or you want to give it out, then first of all you have to ask for the information that you want to be able to give. Right now, when I did this video, I was just like, how can I give value, right? That question entered my mind, and then it took some minutes. I had to sit here and I write it down, whatever thought I got. And then after a while, like almost 15 minutes, I started getting into a flow. I started understanding. And that's when clarity comes. But you have to trust it, right? You have to trust the void. So if you're really in a writer's block, or you don't know really what you're gonna give, just ask the question. Just ask it. And then start writing down whatever it is that's coming. It doesn't need to be perfect from the beginning, but you will you will soon start to sense what it is that is relevant. And as you're writing it down and you just focus on it, it becomes easier and easier and easier. And what's actually happening when you are writing down your thoughts, I would also recommend that you do it on paper, or you do it on an iPad or whatever. I'm having an iPad, but I can write on it, right? Because the thing is, if you're tapping or writing like this, yeah, of course, you're still getting the information out, but it doesn't really give, you're not using as many neural pathways when you type as if when you write. So it's something that's very intuitive, at least for me. So I would recommend you writing. Anyway, when you are writing, you are literally becoming a producer, right? So you actually only have, it takes 15 minutes to become a producer. That's it. Doesn't take more. You just need to stay in that lane. You have to stay with the void, and with the trusting of the flow that it's coming through. And the moment that you start doing this, you start producing more, right? The thing is this, that this law is always coming, right? So you will start getting the information. And when you start sharing this also with others, that's when you start seeing how abundance can return. Because then you're really becoming the one who are giving out information too. Then you're truly becoming a producer and start breathing out and in the information. You're no longer hoarding it. Most people don't understand that the amount that they're reading and consuming is putting them in a state of lack because they're not giving out, right? Before, it wasn't that long ago that we didn't have this amount of information. It wasn't there. And to be frank, many people get overwhelmed by the amount that is now. And we get so, even though we get used to it. So start understanding this first of all. Put you in the state of balance. Become aware of how much are you actually consuming. And I'm talking everything, right? You know, reading newspapers, reading blogs, reading social media, reading tips, watching YouTube, watching this video, you know. Become aware of actually how much you're watching, and then start compensating that with what you can give out of what you've learned. Because the thing is this, it's about imperfect action, right? Doesn't need to be perfect. Just giving it out, because where you are, you're actually a guide for someone else, right? Because there's always someone who's behind you or walking the path behind you, where you can shine the light by the information that you already accumulated. That's how you become a leader. So that's it for this video. Remember, takes 15 minutes and then you become a producer if you start writing it down, right? And then you just start on the roll, and the more you write down, the more will come, and the more will end up on that paper, and soon enough you will have a piece of content that you can give out for anyone to enjoy. All right, that's it for today. Please comment below what you think about this, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And that's all. Peace, love, and joy to all of you. Bye for now.